In late July, BMW unveiled its i3 electric car simultaneously in megacities on 3 continents: in New York, Beijing, and in London. The right places for a car previously known as the megacity vehicle. London city traffic averages some 10 million people a day. Now BMW says its i3 has ushered in a new era of individual electromobility. Head of development for BMW, Herbert Diess, says the aim was to create a BMW that would epitomize driving pleasure. That was their motive. The combination of carbon fiber reinforced polymer construction with a strong electric motor, a good battery and ergonomics makes for a good overall package. He says that pretty much sums it up. The developers also made sure the i3 had a unique appearance. They designed a body worthy of an electric car that would meet the demands of the drive system and batteries. The i3 has a very lightweight modular construction, with the life module or passenger compartment surrounded by carbon fibre, and the drive module with the chassis framed in aluminium yielding an unladen weight of 1,195 kilograms. Herbert Diess explains that BMW thought it was important to compensate for the weight the battery adds. Many electric cars now on the road feel sluggish, which subtracts from the driving pleasure. This gives extreme lightweight construction an added imperative on electric cars, and less weight also allows them to make the battery smaller. So making the car lighter is more important for an electric than a conventional vehicle. The i3's high manoeuvrability comes in very useful for city driving, and it ranges up to 190 kilometres on a single charge. The i3's electric motor puts out 125 kilowatts of power and a maximum torque of 250 newton meters. It'll be appearing in European showrooms in November and in American, Japanese and Chinese dealerships next year. In Germany, it starts at €34,950. Frank Mertens was among the first automotive journalists to test drive the electric megacity car from Bavaria. He says this electric car feels very, very good. Accelerating brings it to maximum torque immediately, as he's experienced with other electric vehicles. Being out and about in BMW's new i3 makes for a very good feeling. Its quick handling takes some getting used to. As soon as the driver lets off the accelerator, the regenerative braking kicks in, so the driver rarely has to change pedals. Frank Mertens confirms that he hardly even has to hit the brakes at all in this car. It's enough to let off the accelerator to bring the car to a full stop. As soon as you lift your foot, the regenerative braking starts and slows the car down, so you can almost drive the car without ever using the brake pedal. It takes a bit of practice, but once you've gotten used to it, it's actually quite pleasant. The i3's 3+2 door design means it has opposing side doors, so 4 passengers are comfortably accommodated. A lever on the steering wheel is used to select transmission modes. The environmental aspirations extend to the choice of materials such as the renewables wood and wool. Herbert Diess says the i3 is a car for the urban environment, for driving to work and back. He has no doubt we'll be seeing it in the suburbs often as a second car. Frank Mertens points out that, as always with electric cars, the sensitive point is the price. The BMW i3 starts at around €35,000. He's sure a sum that steep will scare many potential buyers away from going electric. And especially the range it offers predestines the i3 to remain a second car. That's something customers have to consider when deciding if they're prepared to fork over that kind of cash. Initially, the i3 will be rolled out solely as an electric drive version. For drivers who want to travel a bit further afield, later models will offer what BMW calls a range extender for an additional €5,000. That consists of a small 2-cylinder gasoline-powered engine fed by a 9-litre gas tank, giving the BMW i3 an extra 300 kilometres before refuelling. It's like the legend of David and Goliath. Our tester, Martis Kurat, pits Daimler's smallest car, the Smart for 2, against the company's biggest vehicle, the Actros.
Hey!
Hey, get your sardine can out of the way, he says, testing the truck. He wants to get by. In the Smart, he refuses to let the truck by. It's way too harmful for the environment and takes up too much space. Harmful to the environment? Takes up too much space? Yeah, right. Of course, such a big truck needs a lot of fuel. When it's fully loaded, the average consumption is just under 30 litres. But if the cargo's taken into account, it's about a litre a tonne. All the Actros engines comply with the latest Euro 6 emission standard. And a truck like this doesn't really block the road. Well, maybe sometimes. But if all the truck's cargo was loaded onto smart cars with their maximum payload of 250 kilos each, there'd be whole lines of cars taking up more space on the highway and guzzling even more fuel.
Okay.
All right, so apparently the Actros is not as harmful as all that, he concedes, but this electric drive Smart for 2 doesn't use gas at all.
Das Electric Drive, der verbraucht überhaupt keinen Sprit.
That's all well and good, but what if you need to carry baggage or transport goods, he asks himself.
Mit deinem Smart Electric Drive ein bisschen Gepäck mitzunehmen? Ich fahre immer
I always take my Smart shopping, he says.
Mit meinem Smart. Ja, und
But
dann
you can only buy 2 bananas and an apple, because no more will fit in, he retorts. To be fair, the Smart's trunk is not that small. It has a cubic capacity of at least 220 litres, enough for a whole case of water and a battery charger cable. Not bad, but that's nothing compared to the Actros. It has 2 luggage compartments on the driver's side. And another one on the passenger's side. There's also a great deal of space above the front windshield, over 1,000 litres in total. And if that's not enough, there's also 30 cubic metres in the cargo area.
Verdammt.
So, the Actros wins again.
Siehste, dann mach halt
And the
endlich
driver
mal
tells the Smart to
Nein,
make way.
sehe ich überhaupt nicht ein. Zumal hier
But
der
back in the Smart, he
das
refuses,
wesentlich
pointing out it's much more comfortable to drive.
Ach, ist
But as
das
the truck
so?
driver,
Ja, dann zeig
he
doch mal,
wants
was
proof.
du zu bieten hast.
The Smart's interior has everything you need for everyday driving. A couple of storage compartments, a bottle holder, an optional smartphone holder, electric windows, battery level indicators, a speedometer, and in the convertible version, a huge soft top. The Smart Electric Drive is powered by a 55 kilowatt electric motor. The maker says it has a range of 145 kilometres. However, the light, windshield wipers, air conditioning and radio, which are all electric powered, can reduce the radius of action. In Germany, the convertible version has a starting price of 22,000 euros.
Was gibt's denn dazu
What are you
gern? Ist doch
yawning
super.
for, he asks. It's
Ja,
great.
hat recht.
He
Ist
agrees,
super.
but then offers to show
Soll
off
ich dir
his
jetzt mal
work
meinen
and living
Wohn- und
space.
Arbeitsbereich zeigen?
The Actros has loads of interior space. Moreover, the driver has a 6-litre fridge within range, and a table can be pulled out in front of the passenger seat. And there isn't just one bed for a quiet night's sleep on the motorway parking lot, but 2. There's an integrated level to help set up the bed and even a reading lamp. The Actros 1851 boasts 12.8 litres of cubic capacity and 2,500 newton-metres of torque. Its 820-litre fuel tank allows drivers to cover a distance of 3,000 kilometres without having to stop for a fill-up. And moreover, he says, just in terms of coolness, the truck beats the Smart hands down, because it has 2 beds incorporated. If he gets lucky at a nightclub. But there's no way this whale of a truck would ever find a parking space near a nightclub, so what's the point? Although the Actros comes with all kinds of bells and whistles, there's no way to beat a Smart when it comes to parking. And the Smart has another advantage. What exactly? Just follow me, he says. He's intrigued. In a battle such as this, it's all about outwitting the opponent, not about who's strongest or biggest. What's going on, he asked. All he had to do was follow. There's a 2-meter height restriction. Once again, the Smart is simply the better car. Hang on, he says. I'll show you who's got the better car. You just need to know how. Once an Actros, always an Actros.
So, und jetzt pass auf, jetzt komme ich hier. Mit dem Actros
and there he goes, outsmarting the Smart by getting an Actros into an underground parking lot. Dacia presents the second generation of the Dacia Logan MCV station wagon. Even though the design is clearly much more modern, it's still all about family-friendly space. 573 litres of trunk space and plenty of storage options make it the best value wagon in Germany. Starting price €7,990. With its special edition Beetle GSR, VW is harking back to old times, more specifically to 1973 and the original Super Beetle. But with 210 horsepower, the new model outdoes its predecessor somewhat. The TSI engine gives the Beetle GSR a maximum speed of 229 km per hour, and buyers have a choice of manual transmission or a dual-clutch gearbox. In Germany, this limited special edition starts at €30,300. Car tester Sascha Knapp explains that Fiat and Chrysler have been cooperating since 2009. Lancia is a Fiat brand. 2 products of this alliance are the Lancia Thema and the Lancia Voyager. Now a third is the Lancia Flavia convertible, based on the Chrysler 200 convertible. The Flavia's exterior appears well done. An elegant, light-catching contour runs the entire 4.95 meter length. LED headlights are standard equipment. A beefy grille gives the car a touch of assertiveness. At first glance, the Flavia's rear looks a bit wide. The LED taillights are also standard. The Lancia Flavia's powerhouse is a 2.4-litre 125 kilowatt gasoline engine with a maximum speed of 195 km per hour. Fuel consumption is rated at 9.4 litres per 100 kilometres. Nobody's idea of ecological. Sascha says, to make matters worse, the small engine is combined with a rather unsuitable automatic transmission, so when you step on the gas, the engine whines. But you hardly notice any increase in speed. It manages 0 to 100 kilometres an hour in 11 seconds. The only engine the Flavia comes with is not that much fun to drive, but on the bright side, the 6.5-inch screen for the GPS, CD and DVD drive, a USB port, a Bluetooth speakerphone and cruise control are all standard equipment. At first glance, the Lancia Flavia's interior also looks quite well done. An analog clock in the centre console gives it a classic flair. Sasha says once the top is opened up, the back seats are quite comfortable, but then if you've got 4 basketball players in the car, it doesn't work out quite as well. However, for him, it's very roomy. Sasha thinks the Lancia Flavia's rear is enormous and the tailgate is very heavy, and underneath is the convertible top. The cargo space only has a volume of 198 litres. When the top is up, a total of 477 litres of space can be used. Optically, the Flavia works, but the weak engine is a minus. A starting price of €37,700 in Germany makes it attractive to convertible fans. You can only understand the Porsche legend if you've driven one, says Klaus Breiter. It's impossible to mistake the sound of the 6-cylinder Boxer engine, even on the entry-level model of the new Cayman. The chassis is very stiff. It's meant to be heard, not seen. The 2.7-litre 6-cylinder Boxer engine is integrated into the middle. It has a decent 275 horsepower and maximum torque of 290 Newton-meters. The new Cayman is recognisable as a Porsche at first glance, says Breiter. No risks have been taken here. What's new are the headlights stacked on top of each other, and the spoiler at the rear, which feeds right into the taillights. The Cayman has no difficulty swerving suddenly, even at 90 kilometres an hour. Indeed, it almost goes unnoticed. The brakes are excellent. It only takes 33 metres for the car to come to a standstill from 100 kilometres an hour. It can reach 100 kilometres an hour in just 5.4 seconds. 3 tools provide the driver with the most important information. The interior has a range of buttons and is equipped like a typical Porsche. Both seats are extremely comfortable, no matter how tall the occupants. However, no one should expect too much from the front and rear trunks in terms of cargo space. The Cayman's tank holds 64 litres. That'll take it around 700 kilometres, driving at a reasonable pace. In our green test, we measured an average use of 8.4 litres of premium. Not that far from the 8.2 litres Porsche promises for the Cayman. Breiter says the new Porsche Cayman proves itself in the ADAC auto test as a well-made sports car suitable for everyday driving. The starting price is €51,400. That's 40,000 less than the Porsche 911, definitely giving it a run for its money.